Hello everyone, welcome to Chaudhary Data World channel. Today I am here with an introductory video or an overview session on Databricks. We will be watching that what all options and how we can even sign in on the Databricks Community Edition. What is this Community Edition is? What are its benefit? We will be watching that and all the various options available into that Community Edition of Databricks. We will be watching and exploring all those. So let's get started with the video. For that, I have opened up the private browsing into my is so that whatever things are there, it should be newly created. Means if suppose Databricks I am opening, I should not have to uh, uh, it should not be already signed in, so that you can see how we can proceed ahead with the Databricks Community Edition. There are basically two editions of Databricks. One is professional and another one is the community edition. This professional is one is the paid version of that, in which there are multiple and there are wide varieties and scope of scaling up your computations and all. And in this community edition there are some drawbacks, but for practice purpose and for training purpose this is sufficient to us. And then for that reason we will be moving ahead with the community edition of Databricks. For that what we will be doing, Databricks, just we will type Databricks community edition, community edition, click on enter. It will give you that Databricks community edition login. So if you are new to Databricks, you can go ahead with the sign up for Databricks community edition. Once you will click on sign up with community edition, it will be there, the sign up option in front of you. For that what you can do is you can just go back, and in this only login option, this login option you can see, right? So in this login option, that URL is community.cloud.databricks.com/login.html. So here, if you are already a new or registered Databricks member, community edition member, then you can go ahead with having this email username and then password. Otherwise, you can search for sign up Databricks community edition. For that we are having this try Databricks option available here. In this try Databricks you can now sign up. First you need to provide first name, last name, email, company, and all those required fields you need to fill it up. It will not ask you for the credit card information and or any payment method information, because this is absolutely free for use. So this is how you can go ahead with signing up your Databricks account. Once that is set up, for me it is already set up. So what I will do, I will just go with this login option, in which I will be filling up my email ID and then password. So password I will be just putting at, clicking on enter, so that we can enter inside our this dashboard page. Now here this Databricks, we are this is whole Databricks options available in front of us. This Databricks options here, first in this left one, in left pane, we are having the varieties of options with which we will be navigating going ahead. And for the just display purpose of this navigation buttons, we are having different menu option. We can click over menu option. Either we can keep it expanded, or either or collapsed, we can keep it up. For now we will be clicking on expand, so that it should not collapse as soon as we hover down from there. So now it is available in front of us, every options. For that we are having different options, like first one I will be moving from top, and I will make you aware whatever important options available in Databricks, so that going ahead you should not be dealing with the confusions that how this is happening or that is happening. So here you can see that there are two personas available in front of us. First one is data science and engineering and machine learning. These both personas are available into the community edition, which is absolutely free. So there are a few differences between data science and engineering persona and then machine learning persona. For this entire course, we will be moving ahead with data science and engineering persona. You can change it as well to machine learning whenever required, or else you can go back to data science and engineering. Now you are having different options in create. In this create, you are having this notebook, table, and cluster. These are three things you will be getting aware of in upcoming videos also, or in this video I will be showing you that how to create cluster. Apart from that, creating notebook and table, we'll be moving ahead and then seeing that in next video, that how we can create notebook and then table. Basically we will be working on notebook, and that notebook is getting run on the cluster. Yesterday on in my previous video I have already covered up that what is cluster and how Databricks actually work, and what is the significance of Databricks over any on-premise system. So you can definitely check out those videos as well, so that your confusion will be clear in regard to this. After that, we are having this workspace. This workspace, this is nothing but wherever our notebooks will be stored. So there are different workspaces here. That first one is shared and another one is users. So you can go ahead with this option. This is nothing much important for us right now. After that, whatever recently created notebooks will be there, it will be popped up here. From here you can search the workspace, whatever notebook you are having, or something, some entity you are having. You can go ahead with having searching the whole workspace. After that, this data option is to create table, basically. So you can create table by having means whatever data set we in our whole Databricks we will be having, all those data sets will be accessible from this point. Now another option and a very important option is this compute one. So compute is nothing but to create a cluster. Suppose if you want to run any notebook is getting run on any cluster associated with it. Cluster is nothing but, let me recap the thing, that cluster is nothing but the chunk of different computers. Suppose we are having a small data set. That data set can be run on a single device. That means single device means single system, which is having a CPU and a storage. With this the computation go ahead, right? But if suppose you are having a large data set, you will be having different varieties of systems. That means will be having different computers in front of you. You can assume like this, that there are 5 to 6 computers which are dealing up with your data in parallel, so that the execution can become faster, and then whatever the efficiency of computing of your data set, it will be increase tremendously, due to which that big data concept came into picture. So that is this compute option. In this compute option we will be creating compute is nothing but creating a cluster. So and then workflows is it's an advanced concept in which there are suppose different jobs in front of us which need to be orchestrated, means there will be a pipeline creation. This is again an advanced topic which we will be touching up in after this video series. So these are the whole over options available in front of us. Now we will create a cluster just to demonstrate that how we can go ahead with creating cluster, and what all option when we will be creating cluster will be visible in front of us. So for that we will be clicking on create compute. This it is asking us for the cluster name. Cluster name we can write it as demo cluster, something like this we can write. Now this Databricks runtime it is asking for. Runtime is nothing but it's this whole computer thing I told right now. I mentioned into my explanation of that cluster. So it's on ground level or in real level. It's a virtual machine. virtual computer is that virtual machine. Virtual machine is nothing but you can assume exactly as a computer. It will be having its own processor, it will be having its own storage. So that virtual machine, what it will contain means what it that virtual machine will be having this technologies like Scala and Spark. These are some technologies of big data. What is get installed into that. So as of now means as I'm making this video, so this one is the latest one, Scala 2.12 and Spark 3.4. So this is the latest one which I can choose and go ahead with having choosing this particular virtual machine configuration. After that, we can see that it is telling us free 15 GB memory as a community edition user. As a community edition user, you can upload up to till 15 GB data and go ahead with that computation. Your cluster will automatically terminate after an ideal period of 1 or 2 hours. Suppose if you are not using your cluster, that means if you are not using your Databricks. In layman, you can understand like this, that if you are not using your Databricks from last 1 hour, 1 or 2 hours, the cluster will terminate afterwards. That means that virtual machine will be killed. Killing the virtual machine is nothing but that it will be destroyed and you can't compute it again, compute your notebook on that previous virtual machine. You can go ahead with having new create means we will have to again create our cluster and then we can go ahead with running our Python scripts or whatever scripts will be dealing up with whatever notebook we will be creating. And you can see that it is asking for more configuration option, please upgrade your database subscription. That if you will purchase your subscription, it will increase your uh, um, options of configuration. So right now you can see that this is the summary, that 0 worker, 0 GB memory right now, 0 code, 0 DB. Now let me explain you each of them. So here majorly things are worker and then driver. Fine. So worker is nothing but if suppose you are having different set of uh, five five virtual machines or six virtual machines. That means five computers or six computer in a cluster. Correct. So those five or six computers will be dealt up with by a main computer. That main computer is called as the driver, and other rest of those five or six computers which will be dealing up with parallel processing of that data set, those will be called as workers. So for that it is 0 GB memory allocated right now. All the memory is allocated to the driver only, that means main computer. In this community edition, these are only the drawbacks, that if we will upgrade it or if we will be moving ahead with Azure Databricks or uh, uh, AWS Databricks, any Databricks, if we will be moving ahead, these type of feasibility we will gain there. That means we will be having more functionality and more configurational things and more memory over there. And here you can see that 0 dbu and 1 dbu. That means for worker there is no dbu consumption on Databricks, and for this one driver it is 1 dbu consumption. Now this dbu is what? It's a Databricks unit. The full form of dbu is Databricks unit. It is a unit of processing capability per hour. That means suppose if you are, you can assume like this, that in your home if you are using electricity and if you are using 1000 watt for 1 hour, then 1 kWh, that means 1 unit it is getting generated for your as a bill, right, in your home for electricity consumption. Similar way, for 1 hour, if 1 dbu means it's you can is clearly read it, right? A Databricks unit is a unit of processing, is a unit of processing capability per hour. It's just like unit over there into the electricity. It's a dbu over here in the Databricks. Whatever you will consume, you will pay for that. Whatever dbu rate will be there at that particular moment of time for Databricks, that rate you will pay for that. With that rate, the bill will be generated, and that bill you will be paying with your payment methods. So for now, we will go ahead with having click on this create cluster so that we can create a cluster. It will take up a while, and this demo cluster will be set up in front of you. Now you can go ahead with having this demo cluster once created over here. You can go ahead with workspaces or create option. In this create option, you can go ahead with notebook. Now this notebook will be attached to that cluster. I'm again just focus on this particular point. That notebook will be attached to the some of the cluster. That means whatever instruction, whatever scripts you will write, that scripts will be getting uh, uh, processed by different clusters. So what cluster? Suppose right now you have created demo cluster. You can create multiple cluster if in our Databricks. There will be different clusters with having different configurations, right? So for different notebooks, different configuration of cluster will be required. That means different computers will be required. Not each of the computer you will keep as this similar and same configuration, right? So for some of the notebook you will be dealing up with some demo cluster. If suppose second cluster you are creating, for that some new notebook you are creating, you can attach that notebook with that particular cluster, so that you can go ahead with having some other configurational execution. You can have different configuration in this particular second cluster. So moving ahead, the confusions will be clear. So stay tuned to the channel so that you can get the upcoming videos and you can focus on how the things are going into the Databricks. And we will be majorly focusing on PySpark. This demo cluster for now it is taking up a while. We will wait for a second, and then we will be watching here. The blue tick mark will be appearing. Once that will start appearing, it will be created. So let's wait for a moment. It's taking a bit time. It depends on your uh, it depends on various region that uh, this Databricks might face some uh, network issue, or if you are having some network issue, it might take some time due to those regions. And since it's a community edition, it's just for learning purpose, it may take some more time. If it will be taking more time, I will skip this part, and once it will be created, I will be showing it to you in the next video. So I think it's taking time. We'll leave it for now. Once it will be created, I will be showing that up into the next video. So stay tuned to the channel for upcoming videos. And if any confusion into this video, let me know into the comment section. Thank you so much for watching the videos. And if you found this video helpful, kindly like to the video, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video, guys.